Well, good afternoon, everybody. I'm Lee Ellis, SWOG's Vice-Chair for Translational Medicine. I welcome you to Plenary 1, of course, the most interesting plenary session that we have out here. We have an agenda today, which I think is essential in moving forward in our goals to help our patients, and I appreciate you being here. It looks like a very full room, so thank you for that. Let me go back one slide. These are disclosures. Clearly, I'm losing the race here. I miss the world of angiogenesis, but I think it is important to make sure we show our disclosures for more than 15 seconds, as is done at most meetings. So now we've got 20 seconds. We're good. So a quick overview of translational medicine at SWOG, and the basic principles hold true. Give credit to the TM folks within each committee. Most of the work in translational medicine is done within each committee and even subcommittees. We are here to give global support to the TM program, but credit to the translational medicine experts within each committee. We've had some activities over the last year or so. We had a liquid biopsy mini retreat in the fall, which I think was absolutely outstanding. Luis Diaz gave one of the best talks that I have heard in translational science ever. I want to thank James Ray, who chaired the retreat and loved every minute of it. There he is, laughing and crying at the same time. And I want to thank all who participated, because many SWOG members are experts in circulating ctDNA and circulating tumor cells. Thanks for the Hope Foundation for supporting SWOG in this initiative. We also had an ITSC workshop at Jack's Laboratories in Bar Harbor, Maine. At the end of June, we had 15 SWOG members attend, as well as others from SWOG, and it was very successful in regards to establishing collaborations. I will talk briefly about funding opportunities and recipients, a brief update on the NCTN-CCSC, a Core Correlative Sciences Committee, and this evening we'll be having a TM chair dinner just to talk about how we can do better, form collaborations, and what's needed, what support is needed from SWOG for improving TM as things evolve. So, of course, thanks to the NCI for their support, the Hope Foundation, as always, and our ITSC partners for support on innumerable initiatives. The Integrated Translational Science Center pilot grants were awarded in 2019, and this is bringing both a basic science investigator and a SWOG member together. You can see we have 3 grants that were funded this last cycle, all in different areas, which I'm pleased to see. We want to make sure we don't focus all in a single area, so we spread the wealth around. The ITSC has been a great resource for us, and we have several members from each of the institutes here today. I think we've had great partnerships over the last 5 years. The workshops have been magnificent, and we've had some really nice joint collaborative projects between our members from SWOG and the ITSC. Unfortunately, the grant renewal did not do very well, and we need to put our heads together and start thinking about other ways to continue this collaborative effort. And even as of an hour ago, we were trying to set something up by email. There are some upcoming deadlines. The virtual grant writing workshop is a pan-NCTN initiative. The deadline for this is May 1, SWOG Young Investigator Training Course in Seattle. The deadline for this is June 21, and the course will be, as I mentioned, in Seattle in September. Impact awards, we're now using letters of intent, which I think is a good mechanism to save everybody a lot of time. That deadline's July 1, and the full application a few months later. And then SWOG seed grants are always very useful, and that deadline is July 1. The SWOG Hope Foundation Impact Awards were recently reviewed over this past year. 2 grants were funded. You can see Dr. Barak from University of Rochester in lymphoma, and Corey Spears and Dr. Ray from the University of Michigan just received the latest Impact Award. As far as the NCTN CCSC, or Core Correlative Scientific Committee, Many members here serve on it, probably about 6 or 8 serve on this committee. I happen to be vice chair of Committee A. We've now split into Committee A and B. Committee A is solid tumors. Committee B is liquid tumors or hematologic tumors. 102 submissions have been submitted. Some are now being triaged by CTEP. Sometimes you don't have to undergo central review to retrieve tissues. That's good news for the investigators, and sometimes they just were not up to par. And some are still under review. We have a call in a couple of weeks. 60 proposals have been reviewed by the committees through April, and this is data that I just received yesterday. A pretty good, I'd say, quote, funding rate, if you will, funding with tissue, 33 approvals, 20 disapprovals, and several others are pending right now. So overall, the process does need some tweaking, but I think it's working very well, and I've been pleased working with Mike Beer as co-chair and Elise Cohn and Courtney from CTEP. I think we have an outstanding session today. Like I said, this is the core of what we do in trying to help our patients. We have Ignacio Westuba, who I'll introduce in just a second. Peter O'Dwyer and Alan Ashworth will be here in just a couple minutes because he actually works just down the road and had another commitment, but he will be here for his talk, I am sure.